The big one would be this, what Werner von Braun warned about on his deathbed. He said, they or we, he said, we are going to hoax an alien attack on the planet. It's all a lie, but it will trick and fool almost everyone.
Again.
The big one would be this, what Werner von Braun warned about on his deathbed. He said, they or we, he said, we are going to hoax an alien attack on the.
Werner von Braun said, we are going to hoax an alien attack. Who is Werner von Braun? Werner von Braun is a Nazi, the top Nazi scientist, right, from Nazi Germany. Okay, so Werner came to America as part of the split, all right, and Joseph Mengele went to Russia as part of the split. Mengele was the one that created the aliens, the gray aliens, right, in the Nazi war camps. Okay, so if Mengele created the aliens, the gray aliens in Nazi Germany, which was part of the plan to hoax an alien invasion starting with Roswell. Okay, that's what you got to understand. So when von Braun tells you that their plan was to hoax an alien invasion, and he's telling you about it, okay, now listen closely to what he says, because he's going to tell you that now that we have outed, von Braun warned everybody, hey, they're going to hoax an alien invasion. He's going to say, now that we have made that public, here's what they have pivoted to. Okay, here's the contingency plan. If this PSYOP doesn't work, we have 3 more ready, right, to pivot to. Okay, now listen to what he says. If it's not in this little vignette, it's in the second one coming up, so listen close. Shalom, I'm going to get to the greeting.
The big one would be this, what Werner von Braun warned about on his deathbed. He said, they or we, he said, we are going to hoax an alien attack on the planet. It's all a lie, but it will trick and fool almost everyone. In a minute, they could stage this and it would fool. Well, I mean, look at what they've been doing for decades, fooling everyone. Everyone's saying, oh, those were alien events.
Going back to Roswell, they've been faking it since then, and the Roswell aliens, Mengele created them in Nazi Germany. He started in Nazi Germany working on what they called the gray aliens. Okay, was doing dissections, and look up Mengele's children. Mengele's children are the gray aliens. Okay, that were in the Roswell machine. Okay, and that's when he says they've been doing it for years. It started with Roswell. That's them faking it. And the gray aliens, right, who they created, came from the Nazis, period. He's telling you a story of the Nazi, Werner von Braun, who had spilling the beans about a hoaxed invasion. And after they noised it abroad, because we all know about it, right? The 1% that's going to know and the 99% that ain't going to know is going to fool a lot of people. We know about it. What did they pivot to?
The big one would be this, what Werner von Braun warned about on his deathbed. He said, they or we, he said, we are going to hoax an alien attack on the planet. It's all a lie, but it will trick and fool almost everyone. In a minute, they could stage this and it would fool. Well, I mean, look at what they've been doing for decades, fooling everyone. Everyone's saying, oh, those are alien events. And, our military guys chasing these objects thinks those are military, right? Well, they're not. I mean, or alien, they're military. They want to unite the world around a military junta, a totalitarian system. And how do you do that? How do you get one race or one ethnicity or one nation?
But here is what I know.
Okay, now, see, they broke that up. Okay, how do you get? Okay, He's talking right there.
ethnicity or one nation. But here it.
Okay, now let's follow up with this right here. Now listen very closely to what Greer. No, Greer, not that guy. This guy. Listen very closely to this guy, okay? Because here's how you got to see it, all right? All right, let me say this. Shalom, call halal, Yahweh Shemiel, Shabbat, Shabbat, double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful way tabernacle of David, all right? I'm the elder Yeshua. Shalom and salutation to you all. This guy right here, as far as UFOs are concerned, he's the elder Tahar, okay? Because the powers that be sent him out to speak on their behalf. Why? It's called revelation of the method. The elder apostle Tahar is speaking on behalf of Yahweh Shemiel Shai down here on the earth right now. This guy, right, David Greer, has been compartmentalized. The brother did a video on compartmentalization. This guy's been compartmentalized. He thinks he knows whatever he's doing, he believes in wholeheartedly. Now, he just told you that von Braun said they were going to stage an alien invasion. Then he goes on to say what they pivoted to. Remember, he's the spokesperson for the devil because they have to tell you the revelation and they have to tell you what they're doing. Listen to him. They just told you the truth about von Braun. Now they're about to tell you what they're about to pivot to, but nobody's listening to him except for me. Listen to what he's about to say right here.
Expose the falsehood of a fake alien invasion.
Slovakia.
Greatest war fighters. That's the question. Because we pretty much have exposed the falsehood of a fake alien invasion. Now they're going to try to pivot it to it being a holy war between humans and the agents of Satan.
Did you hear that? If you're listening, they have dispatched this guy, right? Just like the Most High dispatched the elder apostle Tahar, right? And he's out pushing truth. Well, somebody's got to be out pushing the truth on their behalf. Who's that? Who's out telling, right, the whole truth on behalf of the devil? This guy is. He's telling you the truth. Von Braun and them been working for years. The Nazis were working for years to stage an alien attack. He's telling you about it. He's telling you that they noised it abroad, which is, you know, these psyops, if you will, have contingency. If we can't push this through, then we'll pivot to this. He's telling you about the pivot. How does he know? They told him. He's telling you. That's revelation of them. Now they can move forward with it because they've notified you. But nobody's watching him while everybody should be. And nobody heard what he just said except for the men of the Lord. All right, we have super ears and super eyes. Okay, we hear these things. We understand what they mean when he says that. Listen close. From our greatest war fighters. That's the question.
Because we pretty much have exposed the falsehood of a fake alien invasion. Now they're going to try to pivot it to it being a holy war between humans and the agents of Satan, et cetera, and so on. So it's a very, very reckless, irresponsible, and dangerous thing that the Vice President of the United States would say that. And I am going to be quite clear with people that he knows who are on my team that that cannot be allowed to be repeated.
I think.
Okay. So when they put stuff like this in your face, right, and it's all this is all cut and clipped up, edited, right, and unless you can, glean, they start with this guy. This video, this is Jason A. Everybody understands, right? This is Jason A. This is yesterday, okay? This is how Jason A., who is juiced into whoever Jason A. is. Jason A. is if they lead, Jason A. led his video with this.
The big one would be this what Werner von Braun warned about on his deathbed. He said, they or we, he said, we are going to hoax an alien attack on the planet. It's all a lie, but it will trick and fool almost every.
Making you, he put that at the front, whoever Jason A is. Okay, look at how many, he's got 1.1, he's got 1.15 million subs. Everybody watches Jason A. 20K views on this a day ago. Okay, what is he saying? The Nazis were working on a hoax that started in Roswell, right? And when you understand that Mengele made the aliens, you need to know these things right now because they're about to fool a lot of people. That's what he's saying right now. With these gray aliens, what color are the angels? Okay, the angels look like men. They had the appearance of a man, right? And this was their likeness. They had the appearance of a man, and they sparkled like burnished brass. So if you don't know these things, you're about to, go for a ride on the confusion train.
The big one would be this what Werner von Braun warned about on his deathbed. He said, they or we, he said, we are going to hoax an alien attack on the planet.
Who's we? The Nazis. The Illuminati. We. On his deathbed. He said Werner von Braun on his deathbed means that he was no longer a Nazi. He was an American. He was the head of NASA at that point, bringing forth what? If he was working on anti-gravity and aliens and spaceships in Nazi Germany, okay, and then he became the head of NASA, what was he working on? And then he blew the whistle right as on his deathbed. You understand? So it was still the program. They brought the program from Nazi Germany to what they're about to do right now, right? Which is to say that it's a holy war. Let's get that. Salakia. I'm just going. Salakia. Joel. 3. Prepare what? Joel 3 and 10. 9. Salat. Prepare a war. Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim this among the nations. Prepare for war. Rouse the warriors. Let all the fighting men draw near and attack. Read it in the King James. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. What does this say? Prepare for New American Standard. Proclaim this among the nations. Prepare for holy war. 1. What is about to happen? What are we preparing for? 2. Holy war. 3. War, wait for war. Wait for, what did they pivot to? 4. Okay? That's the spirit. Okay? If you understand how the spirit works. So there's 4. Holy, holy, holy. Right? Say it again, mister.
Attack on the planet. It's all a lie, but it will trick and fool almost everyone. In a minute, they could stage this and it would fool. Well, I mean, look at what they've been doing for decades, fooling everyone. Everyone's saying, oh, those are alien events. And, our military guys chasing these objects thinks those are military, right? Well, they're not. I mean, or alien. They're military. They want to unite the world around a military junta, a totalitarian system. And how do you do that? How do you get one race or one ethnicity or one nation?
But here is what I know.
Holy. One race, one ethnicity, holy. That word holy comes in.
Form our greatest war fighters? That's the question.
Because we pretty much have exposed the falsehood of a fake alien invasion. Now they're going to try to pivot it to it being a holy war.
Okay. Prepare for a holy war. So we already know what they're going to do.
Now they're going to try to pivot it to it being a holy war between humans and the agents of Satan, et cetera, and so on.
That's called revelation of the method. These are the agents of Satan. He's an agent of Satan, doesn't know because he's compartmentalized. He thinks he's the good guy. Okay. Who pays your bills? Satan pays your bills. All right. And he's out here. He's the spokesperson. He doesn't even know that. So he's giving you both sides of the story. There's an alien invasion that was planned, but now that everybody knows about it, here's what they're going to do. They're going to call it a holy war, which they're out there doing right now. Right? Aren't they? Hexeth Holy War. 8 days. Hexeth Holy War. Holy War, Pete Hegseth, Christian nationalists aren't. What is he? How Hegseth is waging a holy war. Why are they saying that? Why is Jake saying that 1 month ago? Rhetoric. He's saying it. They pivoted to what?
This powder does 3.
You understand? Now, what are they saying now? What are they about to announce? They're saying that
Pete Hegseth is losing his own military. Not over time, right now. Generals are leaking. Pentagon staffers are going on record. Active duty service members are picking up phones and calling civil liberties organizations by the hundreds. Because what is happening inside the United States military right now is something they refuse to sit on. And all of this is happening around a war that Bernie Sanders stood up at the No Kings rally this past weekend and described in language that every single person in this country should be sitting with.
1 month ago, Trump and his partner, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, started a war with Iran. This war is unconstitutional. Trump did not seek or receive authorization from Congress. This war is a violation of international law. One sovereign nation cannot simply go about attacking.
So there it is, unconstitutional. Sanders did not dance around it. He did not soften it. He said it straight. Trump took the United States to war with Iran, and he did not ask Congress. He did not seek authorization.
Holy war,
there was no floor debate in the Senate. There was no joint resolution passed by the House. There was no formal process of any kind. Article 1, Section 8 of...
All right, sorry, Salakia. That dude's bloviating. Didn't get to the holy part. Let's see what the sister's going to say.
Secretary Pete Hegseth is waging war, and he thinks God has picked a side.
And those who hated me I destroyed. They cried for help, but there was none to save. They cried to the Lord, but he did not answer them. I beat them fine as dust before the wind. I cast them out. An overwhelming violence of
And I shall
action
cast
against
my
those
fury
who deserve
upon.
no mercy.
He's praying for, quote, overwhelming violence against America's enemies. In that same speech, he calls on God to break the teeth of the ungodly. This isn't just a blurring of church and state. This is the Old Testament language of wrath, of holy war.
Okay, so good enough. Now let's go from there to here. Let's get this real quick since we're doing this. Let's get 2 Corinthians. Because you got to understand what's going on. See, we do. We understand. 2 Corinthians 2:11 says, in order that Satan should not outwit us, for we are not unaware of his scheme. We know about the Holy War. We know about Mengele's aliens. Okay? The men of the Lord know.
Agents of Satan, etc., and so on. So it's a vision. Now they're going to try to pivot it to it being a holy war between humans and the agents of Satan.
Holy war between humans and the agents of Satan. What does that look like? It looks like this. Trump announces reptilians and UFOs. Okay? That's what this holy war has turned into. Okay? 2 days. Extraterrestrial life. Now, what is their spokesperson saying? We're showing you in real time how this comes together.
Now they're going to try to pick much of it.
Outpace, outmaneuver, and outperform our greatest war fighters? That's the question.
Because we pretty much have exposed the falsehood of a fake alien invasion. Now they're going to try to pivot it to it being a holy war between humans and the agents of Satan, etc., and so on.
And this is that. This is them pivoting.
For less than.
This is them pivoting from the fake alien invasion into the holy war, right? Which is actually the war in heaven, okay?
Breaking this morning, the Trump administration has begun to release files related to UFOs and, quote, extraterrestrial life.
This goes into aliens. This goes into angels. This goes into what's going to come out of the sky. Yahushua is going to come out of the sky. He's an angel. The angels are going to come out of the sky. They're angels. What are they doing? They're flying in UFOs. What is he doing right now? He's connecting these dots and saying that it's a holy thing. Here's the reason for the war and these things, these aliens are attacking our military installations. They're hovering. We got to do something about it. These drones, they started this campaign a little while back.
The Defense Department releasing a statement on the new document drop, writing, quote, the American people can now access the federal government's declassified UAP files instantly. The latest UAP videos, photos, and original source documents from across the entire United States government are all in one place. No clearance required. While past administrations sought to discredit or dissuade the American people, President Trump is focused on providing maximum transparency to the public, who can ultimately make up their own minds about the information contained in these files.
Who are the agents of Satan? Well, it starts with the spiritual demon Satan, who's an agent of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. But then Satan is in charge of a bunch of angels, right? So those angels below Satan, they're agents of Satan. Okay, and then you got the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, so-called white man, Esau, Edom, right here, who's been working real hard at being an agent of Satan. Okay, all of them. Right, whether they're compartmentalized, whether they know it or not, all right, they're all working towards the same goal, all right? So what he said, right, is spot on, all right? And we're watching the whole setup.
Contained in these files. Wow, and it's not just the documents. Take a look at these photos released as well. What? So the problem, that first photo really bothers me. All these photos bother me because I know one of them that we saw, the one that looked really dramatic, it was like this big
oval
Yeah.
metal thing.
Yeah.
That is a rendering,
Yeah.
just to be clear, of corroborated story by multiple people in some field. Look at this. So they made a rendering of what several eyewitnesses said they saw.
That
Like,
looks
what are you
like-
talking about? What would that be? How do they explain this?
This looks like the shot from Teletubbies with the Sunshine Child. Like, who made that render?
And who are the Teletubbies? Are they the aliens? Anyway, as you can see where this is going, it's going here. All right, these people are being told.
It to it being a holy war between humans and the agents of Satan, et cetera, and so on. So it's a very, very reckless, irresponsible, and dangerous thing that the Vice President of the United States would say that. And
So I just wanted to point that out. All right, here's more. This guy comes out, and what is he doing? He's been dispatched to show you some truth too, but then goes right into the fallen angels.
What I'm here to tell people is that when Project Bluebeam is used, again, it's not going to be by the United States. It's not going to be by national. It's going to be by global government. They're the ones who are going to use this stuff, and it's going to be not just a bunch of pretty holograms.
Global government are the agents of Satan.
They're going to be using it for religious figures.
There's your element right there, the holy war, religious figures. Okay, see how this fits in? They have to. First of all, we're dealing with what the world knows as God, whose name is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, who will be sending his son to come out of the sky in a spaceship. That's going to happen. So what must they do? They got to figure out a way to control the narrative. They've been working on this going way, way back. Okay.
Jesus in the sky, but it's not just going to be holograms. There's going to be voice-to-skull technology. It's also going to be used. They're going to be able to have these figures speak to every human being on the planet.
And won't be able to fool. See, as soon as we see Caesar, we're like, this is phony, right? There's Caesar. That ain't Yahushua. Whoever don't know that will be deceived, right? Matthew 24. And I'm going to go ahead and close, but just wanted to point out what David Greer said, right? It's very important what he said, that they switched the program. They switched from the invasion to what? The Holy War. From invasion to Holy War. Maybe I'll... from invasion, pivot to... from invasion to Holy War, pivot. How about that? Matthew 24 and 4. Okay? I'm trying to get to King James. Matthew 24 and 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying that I am anointed, holy, and shall deceive many. That's the point. And shall deceive many. Right? And here's the wars. Right? And all of the scary shit. Right? Because they got to scare you. Right? They got to scare you. Because that's how they get in. That is their God, right? Is murder and witchcraft. Right? So they got to scare you, right? Because that's where they get their power. Their power is derived in deception, right? Magic and witchcraft is large-scale deception. That's what they're doing right now. With lizards are coming, reptilians coming out of the sky, right? But we know better than that. All right. So be not deceived. Let no man take heed, right? That's pretty much what we need. Anything else? Let's get the war real quick. Because that's what, I mean, they're going to say that what you see in the sky, the aliens are the bad guys. No, those are the angels, dumbass. They're the bad guys to you. Rev 7, but Rev 12 and 7. It's a lot. World English Bible, Revelation 12 and 7. There was war in the sky. Michael and his angels made war with the dragon. The dragon and his angels made war. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. If you don't understand what this is saying, you're going to have a problem. It was in heaven. It wasn't in the sky. It was in heaven. Okay. All right, you figure that out. You were just shown what it means, right? What do you see? Okay.
They don't want you hearing.
Yeah, they don't want you. They don't want you hearing this right here.
Coast of Yemen. Suddenly, on the left side of your screen, you see a hell. The newly released video captured by a U.S. Reaper drone shows a glowing orb off the coast of Yemen. Suddenly, on the left side of your screen, you see a Hellfire missile zip in, strike that unidentified object, and bounce right off it.
Wonder where the hellfire came from. It came from one of Satan's angels, because you're looking at the war in heaven right now. It's in the sky. Satan and his angels, F-18, whatever, fired the hellfire, fighting against what? The angels of the Lord. It's Michael and his angels right there. So this is what you're looking at.
Slow the video down, you see the Hellfire missile continue to travel on its path, that trajectory becoming clearer from this zoomed out angle. Not shown is a second Reaper drone that launched the missile. Congressman
Reaper drone is Satan's angels. Okay? With that we pray that the elect ratified your brother and sister. Shalom.